Last week you saw how I traveled all the way to Mexico to play 3 ITF 15K events in the highest altitude I've ever been at. Conditions were no joke, and it was all going to be about adaptation and problem solving, more than it already is in a regular tennis match. After winning my first 2 rounds, I was in the quarterfinals, so I had a great chance of reaching my first pro semifinal. I had a tough match ahead of me. I was facing Tyler Stites, ATP number 860, recent graduate from Auburn University. The main difficulty in playing him was that he makes a lot of balls and does not miss a lot, so rallies were going to be longer, and at this altitude this was not ideal. We were obviously going to see how that was going to measure up since the balls would fly a bunch here, and it wasn't easy to rally. Once again, serving well was going to be the key to have chances of winning. I had to be rock solid there and not leave him too many chances, as that's where he's good at, being very solid and turning every single chance into a break or a big advantage. And from the back, really, I'm trying to move him around and trying to play on my terms. I had to swing less at the beginning, obviously. Couldn't go all out straight from the start, otherwise my ground strokes were probably going to fly out. I'm forced to fight a break point straight away though. Luckily serve comes to the rescue. So yeah, I'm able to take home that first game and avoid a rough start. 30-15 here, and he straight away tries to open the court with a serve +1. And in these conditions, running from side to side was much tougher, so it was a good strategy to move your opponent early on, because much sooner than in normal tennis, they would either miss or leave it short. I'm able to flip the point here though. Couldn't quite make it to break point though, as that backhand's still long, so now I was just trying to stay in the game and see if I had other chances. I eventually missed the forehand though. I start off the game with a good serve, but these short balls here are very tricky, so I just kind of make it and then play an awful volley. I try to get back even this point here and set up this forehand cross rally, but I missed way too early. Second serve here on love 30. Yet another miss, and I'm seeing rewatching this match how my body language was not great that day, showing some disappointment and frustration after my unforced error, which didn't help the cause or get me pumped, and sure enough, another unforced. I remember surely being a bit frustrated that I had to hit a lot more balls to win the point, and that it was really hard to crack him and make him miss, but still I think it was too early for me to have that attitude, and that worked against me in trying to find rhythm and feel my shots better. It was also very annoying that he would return most of my first serves, which I wasn't really expecting. He holds serve without too much trouble, and I'm struggling still to find a starting point for my game. Probably at least a step forward at this point. I play well up until this awful drop shot that he has no issue closing. Another deep return, and that's a double break lead. At this point, 4-1 down mentally, I obviously wasn't doing amazing, and decision making wasn't the best. I kinda had to buckle down, work on being physical and consistent, and take it from there. At least I could gain some confidence. But again, it was so difficult as every ball was sailing deep, with the most minimal swings at times. Look at this one for example, barely gave it any power and it goes out, just like the smallest flick. We get to deuce and some of these points are painful to watch. I'm like making the worst decisions. Still nothing then, 5-1 down, and even here I hit a winner, but I'm still not confident. I do line up a few good serves here though, to at least get to 5-2. But it doesn't really build me any momentum whatsoever. He's still much more confident, is putting a lot more balls in than I am, and the longer the rallies get, the bigger the chance he had of winning the point. This ace on set point gets called wide, but it's clearly in, so I give it to him. And that's 6-2. After a good first game to hold, I played the best game of the match. Just watch. Yeah, so 4 double faults that game and I'm suddenly up a break. Sometimes these things happen in tennis. Sometimes you're up a break without deserving it, just as other times you're down one just because you've been unlucky. Anyway, this was a really good chance gifted to me to get back in the match. My slice goes long here though. This was what I had to deal with, these returns that really neutralized my serve and took away the advantage that I should have had while serving. Yet another ball flying out. 30-all, big point. Stewart missed chance here, being jumpy on the forehand. Can't do that here. But every once in a while I would still get an ace in. And once in a while he would also miss a return. So despite the fact that I'm not playing great tennis still, I'm up 3-0. And as to him, aside from that game with 4 double faults from the back, he's been pretty consistent throughout the whole match. So even keeping the advantage wasn't going to be the simplest task. So he's on the scoreboard now, and I serve wide, although it gets called in. And then the classic makeup call afterwards, where it's inside the lines and gets called out. But he gives it to me. That was probably one of the least stressful holds of the match. I'm in a really good spot this game now. Score-wise, I'm not feeling too much pressure, so I want to work on being consistent and slowly transitioning to being aggressive to big targets, and do some damage. Unfortunately, I lost every other point that game. 4-2 now, and as you can see, I'm trying to take more control of the point. And start off the game well. A bit hesitant there on the forehand, and now it's 30-all. I find a good backhand out of the serve to push him out. And then on this forehand, think about going to the net for a second, and he ends up missing. 40-30, need to go 5-2 absolutely here. I don't know how, but he's the only guy who could manage to play heavy and not miss deep. The classic ace-T. Another serve he somehow returned fairly well here, so I guess I just gotta work again and try and take home this point. I push him back with the forehand and then I invent whatever you can call this shot. 30-all the next game. Honestly, would be great to close it here and start serving in the new set. But I rushed his backhand. Yeah, so I couldn't get it quite done that game, but now all focus was on this one as I was on serve. Rushed a bit on that forehand and get frustrated. Another rushed, not composed forehand. Yeah, I could have done better on that passing ball, but he hits a great pass and my break lead is gone. Now the mood was obviously down, not happy with being broken, and surely some mistakes coming from that as well. At this point I just kinda giving it away and moving on. Once back on serve though, I had to concentrate once again and accept the situation, and take it at least to a tiebreak. At 30-all I sense him anticipating T and go wide, resulting in a massively important ace. But my service games tend to be very long, and here after the approach, zero reason to miss this volley. A rare mistake by him on deuce, but I give it back with a double fault. At deuce he just misses the return, and then miraculously it happens again to go up 6-5. Moving side to side at this stage of the match was pretty tiring honestly. The altitude really gets to you, and long rallies with sprints were very difficult. Tiebreak it is then, and I'll let you watch what happens. This last serve might have been out, but nonetheless played a great tiebreak with a mix of being solid and being aggressive and earning points. 7-6. So going to this third set I was a bit mentally pumped, because it wasn't easy after getting broken back to keep it together and take home the set. A bit of uncertainty still though, because my level had been quite inconsistent throughout the match, but still was ready to push on. I was hoping and expecting rallies to get a bit shorter with both of us being tired and it getting hotter. Again, I cannot stress enough how 2 hours of tennis here is not like 2 hours of tennis at sea level. But I guess I was the only one feeling that. Cause he seemed to carry on just fine, and clearly still felt confident hitting many balls each point. Chance to close the game here, and for once we don't go to deuce. Despite feeling a bit worn out, I could not show it one bit and had to remain solid and smart with my decision making. I couldn't show him that he could just play a long rally and I would just bail out. And when I could, I would still try to move him around and put pressure on him whenever possible. Big chance here at 30-all as he breaks his string on serve and rushes the net, but I shanked the pass and that's a heavy mistake. Really could have been a chance that doesn't come around too often, when you think I only broke him when he double faulted 4 times the entire match. But I gotta focus on the next game now and hold on to work for more break chances. Big serve wide to start off the point, as per usual great return by him, and I have to keep this forehand short because if I aim deep or try to play heavy while going back, the ball will take off and hit the fence. There's a fair share of moving around this rally, it's hard to say who's leading and who isn't. I push him back with this forehand once, and then again with the backhand, to set up my best forehand of the tournament so far, and his reaction was just so good at the end. He does put in a great pass at 40-15 though, and he puts me in trouble at 40-30, with a laser return, and it's deuce again. Ace-T comes to the rescue though, and then another serve T where he barely can't make the return. 2-all. 30 all, and this return is just a tiny bit long, and after a good return here, a bit hesitant on the slice unfortunately. The next game I'm already in trouble because I'm love 15 and hit this approach very superficially. Absolutely massive point there on 30 all and a long rally as well. So now I'm 30-30 with an easy forehand to close the game. And I overcook it. A couple of good serves helped me hold once again though. Played a pretty bad and slow game. I'm always behind in the rallies and didn't really carry over any momentum from the last game. Four 3 down now. We're getting closer to the moment of truth. A bit too rushed on this forehand here, but at 15 all I get another chance after a good serve. This time a much better shot, but I missed the volley.
Come on, let's go.
15-30. Yep, pass another time. First break point. 30-40 now. Yep, I bailed out, and that is the worst time to get broken because I only have one game, one chance to break back. Otherwise, I'm done. So after getting angry, I had no time to waste and had to get back to work. I take this first point here. Passing with the forehand, I'm still in this. Unfortunately, just too low with the backhand there, and now 30 all, I know it's going to be another long rally where I really have to grind. Once again, another backhand just on the net strike. Match point. And there it is. Unfortunately, the last forehand is also long, after opening the court up pretty well too. Tough loss, and I really thought I could turn it around after battling the second set, but unfortunately my level in forehand especially wasn't good enough today. Big credits to him as well for missing very few balls and returning crazily well. I was serving big most of the match and he could always make it and make me play, which on these court goes a long way. But overall still a good tournament, considering it's my first time here and adapting wasn't easy at all. So yeah, I couldn't get it done today, but stay tuned and subscribe to the channel because I will be playing 2 more weeks here with lots of matches and some crazy results. So make sure you watch all my next upcoming videos as well.